All right, if you're working on BTEC Sport, you know goal setting is a massive topic. But the real question is, how do you take what's in the textbook and turn it into top marks on your exam paper? Well, that's what we're here to do. We are going to completely unpack the Smarter framework and make it your secret weapon for success. Ready? Let's get into it.
So, imagine this. You flip open your exam paper, and this question is staring back at you. A chunky 6-marker. It can definitely feel a little intimidating, can't it? You know what the words mean, but how on earth do you put it all together in a way that gets you every single one of those marks? This is exactly the kind of challenge we're going to get you ready for.
But hey, don't sweat it. We've totally got your back. Think of it like this. We're building a ladder to those top grades. Every little bit of knowledge, every technique we cover is another rung on that ladder. I promise, by the time we're done here, you'll have a super clear, step-by-step plan to confidently answer questions just like that one.
Here's the game plan for today. First, we'll look at the whole point of setting goals in the first place. Then, we'll unlock the Smarter framework and really break it down, piece by piece. After that, and this is the important bit, we'll see how to apply all of this to those tricky exam questions, putting you on a direct path to a fantastic grade.
Okay, so before we jump into the how, let's just take a quick step back and cover the why. Why do we even set goals in sports? It's not just about picking something to aim for. It actually serves a really powerful and very specific purpose for any athlete.
And really, it all boils down to two main things. First, it's about increasing motivation. A good goal gives an athlete that fire, that reason to get up and push through a tough training session. But just having energy isn't enough. That's why the second principle is to direct that motivation. It makes sure all that effort and energy is pointed in the right direction, towards something that will genuinely make them a better performer.
Which brings us neatly to the main event. How do we actually create these amazing goals that are both motivating and perfectly directed? The answer, my friends, is the Smarter framework. Seriously, this is the ultimate tool for planning, and it's a surefire way to show the examiner you know your stuff.
And here it is, the whole shebang. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-related, exciting, and recorded. Now, I know it looks like just a list of words, but every single letter is a vital ingredient in the recipe for a perfect goal. We're going to break down every single one, so you'll know them inside and out.
All right then, let's kick off our deep dive with the first 4 letters, S, M, A, and R. Specific, measurable, achievable, and realistic. Nailing these 4 really is the foundation of any great goal.
First up, S for specific. This means getting rid of those fuzzy, vague goals like, I want to get fitter. A specific goal hones in on one precise thing. For example, improving my shuttle run time to boost agility for netball, or increasing my vertical jump by 5 centimeters for basketball. It's got to be tailored to the sport, the position, everything.
And this image? It's the perfect way to think about it. A specific goal is like an archer's shot. You're not just flinging an arrow somewhere over there. You are laser-focused on hitting the bullseye. That kind of precision is what gets you results. Next, M for measurable. And this one is so important. You have to be able to track it with cold, hard data. We're talking numbers, times, scores. It has to be quantifiable. At the end of the day, you should be able to ask, did I achieve it? And the answer has to be a simple yes or no. There's no gray area. Now this right here is what we in the business call a WAGOL, what a good one looks like. It's a perfect example. Look at Yasmin's goal. It's specific, muscular endurance, and it is completely measurable. She's going from a concrete number, 30, to another concrete number, 35. This is the level of detail that examiners love to see. Okay, let's talk about A and R, achievable and realistic. It's super common for people to get these two mixed up, but they are different. Achievable is all about your resources. Do you have the time to train? Do you have access to a gym? Do you have the basic physical potential? Realistic, on the other hand, is about the goal itself. Is it a sensible stretch? Going from 30 to 35 push-ups is challenging, but realistic. Trying to go from 30 to 100 in 6 weeks? Probably not so realistic.
So, we've laid the foundation with SMR. Now let's add the finishing touches with the last 3 principles. Time-related, exciting, and recorded. These are the parts that really bring a goal to life and make sure you actually see it through.
T is for time-related or time-bound. You have to put a deadline on it. It's like a race without a finish line. You just keep going forever. Setting a time frame, say 6 weeks, creates a bit of urgency. It also gives you a definite point in the future to stop, Test yourself again and see if you hit your target.
Now for E, which stands for exciting. Honestly, this might be the most underrated part of the whole framework. You can have the most perfectly planned goal in the world, but if the athlete deep down doesn't really care about it, well, motivation is going to drop off a cliff. They have to want it. The goal has to spark something in them.
And that excitement can come from a couple of different places. You've got intrinsic motivation, which is that internal buzz you get from seeing yourself improve or mastering a new skill. Then you've got extrinsic motivation, which is about the external rewards, stuff like winning a medal, getting praise from a coach, or earning a trophy. The very best goals usually tap into a bit of both.
And last but not least, the second R is for recorded. The goal needs to be written down somewhere. Put it in a training diary, on a whiteboard, in your phone, wherever. The simple act of writing it down makes it feel more real, more official. It also creates a massive sense of accountability, especially if you share it and agree on it with a coach or teacher.
Yeah, just like this. Using a habit tracker or a training diary is brilliant for two reasons. One, it keeps you honest and accountable. Two, it makes your progress visible. There's nothing more motivating than looking back and seeing all those sessions you've ticked off. It keeps you fired up and on track.
Okay, so you've got the SMARTER framework down. You're practically an expert. Now for the million-dollar question. How do we actually use this to score big in the exam? It's time to connect all this theory to practical, mark-winning application.
The very first thing you have to do is look at the command word in the question. This is like a secret code from the examiner telling you exactly what they want. If it says state, that's what we call an AO1 question. It's just asking you to recall a fact. But if it says assess, like in our tennis question, that's an AO3. That means you need to make a judgment. You have to explain why something is important, not just what it is.
And this is how you do it. Think of your answer as having 3 layers. Layer 1, AO1, is your knowledge. Just define the term. Layer 2, AO2, is application. Link it directly to the sport with a clear example. And Layer 3, AO3, is your judgment. This is where you use those magic words like therefore or this is important because to explain the impact. If you hit all 3 of those layers, you're on your way to getting all 6 marks. It's a formula, and it works.
So let's just quickly wrap this all up. Your path to a top grade really comes down to this. Understand why we set goals, become a master of every single letter in the SMARTR framework, and know exactly how to break down an exam question so you're hitting all the assessment objectives every single time.
And that leaves us with one final thought. You've now got this incredibly powerful tool, not just for sport, but for your own studies. So the question is now for you. What's the first smarter goal you're going to set for your own revision? Have a think, write it down, and go make it happen.